Chapter 3, Is There a God? Is there a God? We have that question asked more often than any other question today. Science has given a great deal of attention and thought in recent years to this subject and is really doing a magnificent work in research along this line. The research was suggested by a group of medical scientists, and it has been in progress for several years now. Of course, there is a very great determination that there is a great principle back of all experiences. This goes back so far that all continuity of it has been lost through the ages. We are coming to realize that it has always existed and does exist today, and nothing can move that principle out of absolute law and order. The greatest question humanity has asked and is still asking is there a God? From an orthodox point of view, it is accepted on faith that there is a God, a divinity called the Father of man. In this way, we are speaking for a great division of humanity. Yet, in no way satisfied with believing on faith alone, they ask to know, have you irrefutable proof of the existence of divinity? It has been the task of science to investigate the matter and find the answer to the question, an answer which will satisfy the rational mind. Through scientific investigation in recent years, it has been discovered that there is a universal force, which is also termed universal energy, a primal energy, pervading the entire universe and filling infinite space. Today we are finding that the energy that principle manifests is greater than the atomic bomb. That energy emanates throughout all space, all conditions, and all things. It is not given just to one person or to one group. It is all in all, and it belongs to everyone. It works with everybody, whether we realize it or not. The non-realization of it makes no difference whatever. It is not concealed under books or in dark places. It is ever-present, omnipresent, pervading all things. It is the very substance and principle from which we live and move and have our being. Were it not for that very principle, that divinity in every person, we would not be able to take a picture of this group. Experience has proved this. This divine principle has residence within and permeates everything, every method of life and experience. It is that divine influence, that divine energy, which is permanent, everlasting, all-encompassing. We have proved that through photography. For were it not for that divine energy, no photograph could be taken. The pictures recorded on a film are simply the emanating vibrations coming from the object or person of whom the picture is taken. This is proof of the divinity within each form. If we seek that divinity from without, we fail to find it, for we are looking outside ourselves for that which is as near to us as our hands and feet, as close to us as our heart, right within us. If we will go within, we will find divinity in all phases. Then why waste our time searching without for God? It is the same with the masters or elder brothers. They are right here within every form. They are as near to us as our heart. You do not have to travel to India or to any other country to see these masters. You can see them right where you are. When the student is ready, the master will appear. It is well known today that through a greater civilization many, many ages past, a great reservoir, as it is called, was built up of the principles and God qualities and attributes that have been generated and manifested throughout countless eons of time. And that reservoir of good cannot be invaded by any condition of the negative whatsoever. The mighty reservoir or momentum of God, good energy, and pristine purity stands there for all time. And the instant we think of that great, vibrating, pulsating principle, we become aware of it right within ourselves. That vast reservoir of good stands ready and waiting for our use at all times. We have but to tune into it to become at one with it. Now that energy has been called by the name God, the word that is receptive to the greatest vibratory influence known today. When we use that word in its right meaning, and it can be used in no other way to have any influence, we act upon all substance, we act upon every principle, we act upon all law and order, and that which we pronounce in good form is already ours. Just as Jesus said, before you have asked, I have answered, and while you are yet speaking, I have heard. Think of it, because we have sent forth in definite order and definite form the word, at that instant that which we state belongs to us. There is no time or space. It is well known today that perfection never could be created. It always was and is. If we think through our expressions to create perfection, we go outside of ourselves completely, because perfection is already created and is here and now. Therefore, by using right words, right thoughts, right actions, every word impinges upon that great vibratory influence. The thought first, and then the word expressed. In our Bible it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. As we learn to throw out every negative thought, feeling, word, and action, we conserve that energy within our own form. The moment we speak a negative word, we are dissipating God's pure and perfect energy. Therefore, the more we learn to discipline ourselves to think, feel, speak, and act positively and constructively, the more of this potent energy do we generate to fulfill our calls and manifest perfection. Every statement made by Jesus manifested here and now. In his world there was no future, all was now. In the original language, there is no word for the future. There is no word for the past. Every word in that language is the expression of here and now. In like manner, it is known today that every word we speak under positive, constructive influence is recorded, and it never goes out of existence. The very definite statement, I am God, is a determining factor in carrying humanity onward. With that ideal, we progress. Each individual may prove this statement for himself. It is the one who can project an ideal and then hold his vision true to it who accomplishes, in many cases unconscious of how he has done so. Worship is not an idle action. It is necessary to put forth an effort to realize the ideal. That ideal, held completely in thought, must come forth in form. The thought in itself brings the thing into visible form. That vision projects so definitely that it is called from the source of all being and consolidated in its entirety. A clearly presented vision precedes it. It is important to hold to one condition at a time. Never permit your thoughts to wander at random or even to project another form until the first one has been accomplished. After the action is completed, let the thought go completely and turn to the next action. This is the definite understanding which Jesus had. Ye are gods and sons of the Most High. That was his thought regarding the fact of human existence. Always the highest, always the noblest, always the purest, always light. Never anything that might limit life and energy. Never failing, never doubting, always the same singleness of purpose directing thought. This projected vision can carry humanity above any fear or discordant condition of thought, can keep humanity at that level of high accomplishment, going from a lesser to a greater field of usefulness.